These two women and their families have lost virtually everything. A few months ago, their husbands were well-paid, well-respected military officers representing Turkey at NATO headquarters in Brussels. Now, they're in hiding from that government, accused of being terrorists. We have to disguise their identities because they fear retaliation.
We've even told our children not to speak Turkish in public anymore.
A couple months after the failed military coup, they were ordered to return to Turkey, accused of having links to those who tried to overthrow President Recep Tayyip Erdogan.
At first, we wanted to go back to Turkey. I wanted to defend myself, but there's no case to defend myself against. And then we learned that the people who did go back were jailed.
We meet them and others caught up in the purge at an apartment near NATO. One of them is a high-ranking military officer accused of helping to plan the coup from his NATO post. He tells us he had nothing to do with it.
They tweaked the legislative system in Turkey and invented new crimes to be able to discharge people from their offices, to imprison people, even to torture people in their custody or in prison.
Asked for reaction to these cases, many think tanks and NGOs are reluctant to criticize the Turkish government in public, worried for their own personnel there. Only Amnesty International's Andrew Gardner in Istanbul was willing to talk.
There was testimony from lawyers who've actually met with people in detention and doctors as well. And unfortunately, they gave a very disturbing picture of ill treatment and torture inside police detention in Turkey.
Erdogan has declared that diplomats posted abroad whose names are on his list must return home, or he'll hunt them down and bring them back forcefully. That's exactly what the families in Brussels now fear.
We have nothing now. No state, no passport.
You think it's just a pause, not an end?
We've applied for asylum. We'll start over.
But Turkey has already warned NATO member states, including Belgium, they must send these officers back. When we asked NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg about the situation, he defends Turkey's utility as a partner.
Turkey is also important for the migrant and the refugee crisis and a buffer for the rest of Europe.
The women say they are afraid their asylum requests will be rejected. If so, they'll try to go somewhere else.
It's a big world with a lot of countries. There must be one that will take us.
Meanwhile, the women are constantly learning of new cases just like theirs. Families forced into hiding, wondering if the lists will ever end.